Hello. And today, I'm gonna be talking about someone who I used to be friends with in an incident that happened between us, which was like 2 years ago. I will not be giving out her name because I want to respect her privacy. And before we start, I should put out a little trigger warning because this story contains abuse, manipulating, and gaslighting, and mentions of sewer slide. If this kind of stuff makes some of you guys uncomfortable, please keep scrolling. So when I was in 7th grade, I met this girl named Sasha. And prior to the 2020 lockdown, we really started to hit it off and become really good friends. But then things started to take a really bad turn. In July, when she and I were on a Zoom meeting with our class, she was yelling at me in the private chat because I didn't text her last night because of personal reasons. Although we did apologize, Sasha invading my space didn't end there. But we were still pretty good to each other. Like, we would FaceTime each other every midnight, and it was pretty easygoing, but things still got really bad. Like, whenever I would say the wrong thing to her, she would get angry at me for saying it. And every day, whenever I was doing something, she would always want to FaceTime me or talk to me through text. And whenever I left my bedroom to do something, she would always want me to take my iPad, which I was using to communicate with her, with me. She even tried to make me talk to her when I was on the road, as there's not even any cellular service on the road. That's pretty much all I have to say for this part. I will make the next part pretty soon, but thanks for watching. Hello everyone, this is part 2 of this story about someone I used to be friends with 2 years ago. If you haven't seen part 1, you're kind of behind. Also, I had to take my makeup off for personal reasons, which I don't really feel like telling you right now because that's not the point of this video. But anyway, let's continue with the story. So if you think that Sasha forced me to bring my iPad everywhere was uncomfortable, she even went as far as to try and get me to communicate with her during online classes. Like, she literally tried to get me to bring my iPad to online classes. I was extremely hesitant about this because, on one hand, I wasn't even allowed to bring devices to online classes. But on the other hand, I didn't want to hurt her feelings. When I told the teachers and parents, Sasha was not happy and she berated me for getting her in trouble. And when I told her I wasn't allowed to bring my iPad to online classes, she did not care. Oh no. Eventually, this is when I decided to set my first boundary with her. I told her I had enough because this was wrong. I was her friend. I should have a say in this. So I told her I had enough. And ever since then, we haven't spoken to each other in a few months. Eventually, in July, during summer school when we were at the beach, me and Sasha did make up, and it was pretty easygoing for a few weeks. And when we came back to school, it started going okay. We really started to bond at a barbecue that was held at the school on Friday. But soon, things started to go a bit downhill. I'll post the next part soon. Thanks for watching. Hello everyone! This is part 3 of the story about a friend that I used to be friends with 2 years ago. So, let's continue. So things started to go downhill when, in case we started to go back to online classes again, that I would have to bring my iPad with me so I could communicate with her, and I tried coming up with different ways to communicate with her, but I don't think she wanted to listen. after class, during transitions, Sasha would come downstairs to the lower parking lot to communicate with me when she was clearly not supposed to be down there. And Sasha even tried to get me to harass someone on YouTube all because they didn't give her tips on Minecraft, which I think I now find really petty. And I really wanted to do my own things. And when I told her I didn't want to do it, she threatened to kill herself to emotionally manipulate me. And so pretty much whenever I refused to do something that Ashley was forcing me to do, she would threaten to kill herself to emotionally manipulate me. So I harassed the YouTuber and it was extremely uncomfortable to do. I should probably apologize to that YouTuber after I post this. I'm gonna have to end the video right here, right now, because I want to go apologize to that YouTuber that Ruby forced me to harass. So I'll post part 3 soon. Hello everyone, welcome to part 3 of the story about a friend that I used to have 2 years ago, but because of an incident, we'd never spoken to each other ever since. And sorry it took so long to release this next part. I was watching a movie with my mom. So I'm getting to the part where me and Sasha ended the friendship. So I was getting ready to go for a scooter ride to a waterfall that's nearby my house. And Sasha, I'm sorry, I don't know why I keep saying the wrong name. I am trying to respect her privacy here, so I was basically getting ready for a scooter ride when Sasha asked me if I could bring my iPad with me on the road. I told her no because there's no cellular service on the road. And I don't think she would stop asking me to bring it, so I just left it and went on the scooter ride. And when I was getting home, and when I was getting ready for a movie night with my dad and my sisters, Sasha tried to force me to bring my iPad downstairs with me so I could communicate with her while watching the movie, and I immediately had enough. I told her I couldn't because I wanted to spend some time with my family and not her. But she obviously didn't care and used the same tactics to gaslight me into doing something I clearly wasn't comfortable with. I'm limited for time to film this because I can only record up to 3 minutes on TikTok. So I'm gonna post this and release the next part. Thanks for watching.
Hey everyone, welcome to part 4 and what could possibly be the final part of this series of the story of a friend I had 2 years ago. So let's get on with it. So while I was downstairs watching the movie with my dad and my sisters, Sasha sent me some extremely messed up text messages. And for anyone wondering how I reacted to those messages, when I was upstairs in my bedroom getting settled after I was done with the movie, I noticed I got a few texts from Sasha, so I opened them up and I was shocked. I ended up having a slightly tough conversation with my dad about the messages. And I knew the next day was going to be worse because the next morning, while I was getting ready for school, I sent her a text message that says, "Please enlighten me about how spending time with my family is less important than me fucking communicating with you." Needless to say, she wasn't taking it any lightly. So when I arrived at school, Sasha refused to let me go to class unless I told her why I didn't talk to her last night. And I told her to leave me alone and let me go to class. After class, during transitions, she still tried to get me to communicate with her when I clearly didn't want to talk to her after those messages she sent me. And then after school, I was heading to the benches to go wait for my dad to pick me up, and she yelled at me for not talking to her. And a couple of my classmates did defend me, but she started talking down to them, and I was defending myself. Well, at least I was trying to. And then after that, we just stopped talking after that. It's basically been like a Cold War, and it's been 2 years. That's basically my whole story, and it still bugs me to this day. Leaving Sasha was the hardest thing I had to do, and I am happy that I did it. But I still feel guilty about it.